Welcome back. Are you unknowingly sabotaging your own happiness? I guess if you think about that question I just asked you, you wouldn't know you were doing it because I asked if unknowingly you knew it. I am the biggest self sabotager, and I really don't even think that's a word. I did learn a new word today. It's saboteur. But are you your biggest self sabotager? That means deliberately destroying your own happiness. And happiness is something that we all strive for. But what if I told you that the biggest obstacle to your joys aren't external, but they're internal? That's right. Your mindset could be sabotaging your happiness without you even realizing it. Today, I'm going to share with you the 4 common mindset traps that have held me back and the ways that I have approached breaking free from them. These aren't learn and move on techniques. You're going to have to maybe work on some of these on a daily basis. I know I do. I have to on some of these. So let's get started and tackle the first obstacle. The first one we're going to start with is perfectionism. And boy, does that one scream at me. Do you ever feel like nothing you do is ever good enough? Like you're chasing some impossible standard? Well, that's perfectionism talking. And it will actually steal the joys out of your life. And here's the truth: perfectionism is an illusion, it's not real. You can try to tell yourself that it's achievable, but trying to achieve it led me to burnout. I was always frustrated and constantly feeling like what I did was never good enough. And unfortunately, I demonstrated this to my children throughout their upbringing, and this would shine through on their studies, classroom projects. Oh, I was that mom that would be up late at night trying to fix the things that didn't look just exactly right. It's horrible. And I also expected it in the housework around the house when the kids were younger. And that probably the not able to achieve perfectionism in my housework was probably the cause of a lot of my frustration. So it honestly practically killed me trying. I mean, mentally too. Instead, I am recommending that you focus on daily progress, not perfection. Knowing that being human means making mistakes and embracing learning and growth rather than the fear of mistakes. You have to embrace that. Celebrate your small wins. They matter actually more than you think. And I have gained more out of my life by making mistakes than by trying to be perfect. The second obstacle holding you back or sabotaging your happiness is negative self talk. And that is being basically your inner critic. And how often, I'm going to ask you this, how often do you find yourself thinking, I'm not smart enough? I'll never ever succeed. I did that a lot. Oh my God. I self doubted myself all the time. I would go for every 5 steps forward, I would drag myself 10 steps back. That voice inside of you is going to destroy you. Every time you let those thoughts run amok, you're reinforcing a mindset of self doubt. And to reverse this, I learned to manifest my thoughts and way of living. If you think about it, negative thoughts are going to give you a negative way of life. Happy thoughts, happy life. Not happy wife, happy life. That too. But when a negative thought will creep in, just challenge it. I mean, ask yourself, is this true, like really true? Or is this just fear talking? Is this trying to talk myself out of something? And I will, as soon as that negative thought goes in, I replace it with a positive thought. The next one, I am capable, I am enough. That's what you have to really stop and look at yourself in the mirror and say that to yourself. Have positive thoughts. Have you ever caught yourself scrolling on social media and feeling like everyone else's life is better than yours? Well, that's number 3. That's the comparison game. it's a happiness killer. I'm going to tell you that right now. And when we compare our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel on social media, we end up feeling very inadequate. I don't relate to that. I'm not a big social media person that sits there and scrolls and scrolls. I don't compare myself to other people. I compare myself to myself. And what I mean by that is I compare where I think I should be in my personal life and my business life to where I am currently. And this can actually just be as damaging as comparing yourself to someone else. The key here is gratitude. Shift your focus to what's good in your own life. Just remind yourself that no one's life is perfect. What you see there in that picture that you think is so perfect is normally not. Remember, perfection, like I said in the first one, is just an illusion. We each have our own set of challenges and struggles, and we're going to have failures. We're going to. So limit your exposure to social media, number one. These platforms are going to make you feel inadequate, and they're going to lead you to comparisons. While you're on social media, which we know you're not going to completely get rid of, but while you're on there, you want to follow people who inspire and uplift you. Avoid the toxic people and the toxic conversations. Definitely stay away from discussions or groups that are going to encourage competition or comparison. What I do on a daily basis, at least, I mean, there's times I miss some days, but I list 3 things that I'm grateful for every day. And then I release the ideation of what life should look like at my age. The 4th obstacle and the final obstacle is fear of failure. And this one stops so many people from pursuing their dreams or taking risks that could actually lead to happiness. Failure isn't the opposite of success. Remember, it's part of the journey. And I can tell you, I have had so many failures in my life before I actually achieved any kind of success. And I know I'm going to continue to have more failures in order to have more successes. The word failure even sounds negative, but however, it really actually means growth. So don't avoid doing things in life just because you are afraid of failure. You want to see it as feedback. So for every mistake is a lesson in disguise. So I just told you the 4 mindset traps that are going to keep us from having happiness: perfectionism, negative self-talk, comparison, and the fear of failure. But remember, you have the power to break free and create a life filled with joy and fulfillment. Now, one thing when I was doing research on this, I noticed the common power to change all 4 of these is developing a positive mindset and adopting mindful activities. So, check out my video on mindfulness for women over 50. Hit the subscribe for more life-changing content and comment below if you have any mindful activities or obstacles that you have set free. Subscribe for more life-changing content, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.